Hello, my name is Michaela and welcome to a full review of the dining halls at the University of Chicago. So going into the food that they serve, the quality of the food, the ambiance at the dining halls, literally everything, and then ranking them. So I'm actually going to give them a score. I have 10 categories. I had to add a couple because I wanted it to be 10 categories, so that way I can rank them 1 through 10 in each category. Each dining hall could have a potential maximum score of 100 points after this video. And those categories are the location, the seating, the ambiance, the atmosphere, the layout, the food options, the food quality, the amenities, the bathroom facilities, and condiments, beverages, extraneous items. So there are 4 dining halls at UChicago. Baker serves the North Residence Hall, Bartlett serves Max P and Snell Hitchcock, Kathy serves South and BJ, and then Woodlawn serves Woodlawn and I House too. It was so unbelievably awkward when I was filming these dining halls. I don't like filming in public. Like, I try to be discreet if I'm filming in public. Like, I don't want to just be, like, sticking my phone in people's faces. So, to, like, go into these dining halls, I was, like, out there, holding up my phone, obvious, like, going like this and panning so that you can, like, really see the dining halls. I'm sure people saw. It was very uncomfortable. So, hopefully, it's worth it. Now, each of these 4 dining halls, they are consistent in that they have the same types of food stations available for the most part. And just to kind of go over what those are, they all have gluten-free options, pure eats, which are just, like, allergen-free, vegan, kitchen, which is, like, American diner food, halal, kosher, salad bar, soups, pizza pasta, and flame, which is just like barbecue style food. So they do all have those options. It's not like any of the dining halls don't offer those. All right, I'm going to start off with their locations on campus. So this means like where they are relative to the academic buildings and the residence halls and everything. Baker is far enough north that the only reason you would be going there is if you're going to the athletic facilities or if you're in the Baker residence hall. So I'm honestly going to give it a 3 for location. I'm tempted to give it lower, but I do know that people go to the gym, so I'll give it a 3. Bartlett, best location on campus, I would say. That's why it's also packed during lunchtime, but we'll get to that. I'm going to give it an 8, because none of the dining halls are actually like on the quad, which would be a 10, I think. Kathy is across the midway, so definitely detracting points for that. So I'm going to give it a 3 as well. No, now that I'm thinking about it, Baker gets a 4 because it's not across the midway. Kathy gets a 3 because it's across the midway. Woodlawn honestly gets a 2 because unless you're at Woodlawn or I House, it's so out of the way. We'll stay locked in with those rankings. So next category is seating, the arrangement of the tables, and then also the number of seats. Starting off Baker. Baker has a few of the long tables, and then stretched down by the windows, they just have a ton of 4-seater tables. And honestly, I hate the seating at Baker because there's no 2-person tables. If you want to sit alone, you're just taking up a whole 4-person table on your own. So Baker's gonna get a 2. Bartlett, I do like the seating at Bartlett because there's a lot of 4-person tables, there's a lot of long tables, and then going along the entire rim of the building, there are a ton of 2-person tables, which you can also easily move together in a range. Like if you have 6 people, you can easily push together 2 other 2-person tables and make it a group of 6. The only thing is it's sometimes hard to get in and out. It's actually so tightly packed, like you have to like really squeeze between the chairs, but that doesn't matter that much. I'm gonna give it an 8. Kathy, I like the seating at Kathy. There's like the fishbowl area, which is like glass windows kind of surrounding, lots of 2-person tables, and then also some long tables if you want to sit with friends. And then they also have lots of long table seating out in the back too. And then a couple of other big tables and little tables just kind of interspersed in the food area. I'm gonna give Kathy a 9. Woodlawn's got a lot of 2-person and it's got a lot of long tables. Not really any 4-person tables though, I think. So I'm gonna give Woodlawn a 7. Okay, so for the ambiance, this refers to the volume, like the average volume in the dining hall, which obviously is going to differ so much depending on the time of the day that you're there. And then also just how busy it can get. So Baker, it's a bit out of the way. I feel like it's never that busy there. I feel like I'm always able to find a table, which is kind of remarkable because it's only 4-person tables. I'll give Baker an 8. Bartlett is a zoo. Because it's closest to the quad. So like from 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. You go in, it is shoulder to shoulder. It is just awful. So I'm going to give Bartlett for this, honestly, a 1. Kathy also gets very busy. I think that people hop down there just across the Midway if they have classes on the very kind of southern end of campus. So, and also like Logan and everything is down there. So it can get pretty busy there. Not Bartlett busy, but busy. So I'm gonna give Kathy a 3. Woodlawn is always, I feel like, the most spacious whenever I've been in there because they have a ton of seating and then also because no one wants to walk all the way to Woodlawn. So I'm gonna give Woodlawn a 9 for ambiance. But then atmosphere. This differs from ambiance because ambiance is more like the sound. Atmosphere is more of the visual. Starting off with Baker. It's got a lot of daylight, I'll give it that. It looks very clean, but it also feels like a hospital. It's like sterile light and you just kind of feel like you're in a dream, washed out, desaturated world. I'm gonna give it a 5. Bartlett is a former track gym. The ceilings are pretty, except my qualm with it is that there's no daylight. Most of the time it's just like you're in a big coffin. So I'm gonna give Bartlett for atmosphere a 2. Kathy, there's lots of daylight if you're in the fishbowl, and there's not a lot of daylight if you're in the back room where it's kind of like a great hall looking thing, but it's also so pretty in there that like doesn't matter if there's not a lot of daylight. So I'm gonna give Kathy an 8. And then Woodlawn just kind of feels like a garage in a way, but there is a lot of daylight. I'll give it that. I'm gonna give it a 5 with Baker, I think. Maybe a 4. I think Baker is slightly prettier. Next is the layout. So this is the flow of the dining hall. Not like the seating area, but for the food areas. Like, does it make sense to get from point A to point B? And starting off with Baker, there's like a nice kind of wraparound where you like go and get your salad bar and your rooted stuff. And a big like kind of central area for the other food area. I don't know, I feel like it makes sense logistically. I'm gonna give it a 7. Bartlett makes sense, but it's almost a little bit too small, especially considering how many people are in there. So I'm gonna give it a 4, even though everything's kind of central to one another. Kathy is probably my favorite flow. I feel like it just makes sense the way that you go through it. So I'm gonna give it a 9. Woodlawn makes the least sense. It's like I said, it's kind of like a garage. The distance between like the salad bar and the drinks and kosher and pure eats in the back, it's one big line. Like it's, I don't know, it's not circular, it's more deep, if that makes sense. I'm gonna give it a 2. I feel like I'm being really harsh with these gradings. Food options. So I already talked about all of the stations that every single dining hall has, but then some have some extras. So Baker has a lot of good options. I feel like they've always got a well-stocked fruit area. They've also got ice cream. So I'm gonna give them a 7. Bartlett doesn't have an ice cream station, but they do have a taco bar, and that gives it serious points because the taco bar is pretty nice. They've got like salsa, sour cream, beans, rice, guacamole, and everything. I'll also give Bartlett a 7. Kathy's kind of like Baker. They've also got the ice cream station. I don't want to give 7 to each of these, but they just feel kind of the same to me for food options. I feel like it all balances out in the end because what one dining hall doesn't have, another one will. Actually, no. Bartlett and Kathy don't have hot breakfast on the weekends. It's only cereals, breads, that kind of stuff. So they lose 2 points for that. Bartlett has 5 points, Kathy has 5 points. And then Woodlawn, I'll give a 6 because they don't have ice cream, but they at least have hot breakfast on the weekends, I think. Okay, food quality. This one, I feel like a lot of people disagree with. Maybe it's just I've had bad luck when I go to Baker, but I feel like they put so much sodium into the food. I'm gonna give it a 5. No, Bartlett, sorry, I'm going back. Baker, I'm gonna give it a 6. Bartlett is even better, I think. I don't know why. I just feel like I have a lot of success with Bartlett. I'm gonna say 8. And then Kathy, I'm sorry, I don't really have justifications for these. It's just kind of going off vibes more than evidence here. Kathy's a 7, and Woodlawn, I feel like I was disappointed with the food at Woodlawn. I'm gonna give it also a 6. I just want to add a quick note about the food quality in general. This is something that obviously a lot of people talk about, like how is the food at UChicago? And a lot of people say that they don't like the dining halls, but like in general, the food quality is really good. I mean, it's dining hall food. When I listed off all the different things they've got, you can always find something that you like. Yeah, sure, maybe one meal is hit or miss, but for the most part, I mean, the fact that we have kosher, halal, kitchen, barbecue, soup, salad, vegan, there's so many options. Oh, omelet bars too. A lot of students here say that they hate the dining halls, and I just don't really get the hate for it. Definitely the prices are something to complain about, but the food itself I feel like is very adequate. Now, amenities. Baker has none. I don't know why anyone would want to go to Baker for any amenities, so I'm gonna give them a 2. Bartlett, they have Bartmart, which is like in the lower floor of Bartlett itself, and just a little convenience store with a ton of things, so I'm gonna give Bartlett a 9 for conveniences. I love that it's in the same building. Kathy also has kind of a convenience store, Midway Market, but it's like you gotta go outside first, so it's not gonna be quite a 9 like Bartlett, it's gonna be an 8. Woodlawn doesn't have a convenience store, but it does have Saturday night meal swipe there, so I'm going to give that an 8. The bathroom facilities. This doesn't even matter. Baker, I'm just gonna give the bathrooms a 6. Honestly, I have no feelings about them whatsoever. Bartlett, the bathrooms are really warm, which is nice, but there's only 2 stalls, which is kind of a problem when the dining hall is packed. So I'm going to give it a 5. Kathy, the bathrooms are in the basement, but they've got a lot of stalls, 5. And then Woodlawn probably has the nicest bathrooms. I'm gonna give them an 8 because it's like there's a lot of stalls and it's like right on the same floor as the dining hall. And then condiments and beverages. Baker, I feel like, is really good. They have like their sunflower butter out in a nice tub that you can scoop on. They've got like whipped cream. They've got all their jellies and butters organized, like vegan butter and real butter. Super nice. I'm gonna give them a 9. Bartlett is awful. They are always missing certain types of condiments. It's always empty. It's just not even out on the counter. They don't have sunflower nut butter, whatever it's called, for like the past few months. It's just not been there. I'm gonna give Bartlett a 2. Kathy, they're also pretty good. They've got like sunflower seed packets. They've also got a lot of condiments out, like even like coleslaw, tomato slices, cheese, and everything. I'm gonna give them a 7. Oh wait, no, actually Kathy gets a 6 because they never have mayo. Woodlawn gets a 7. Oh, and then Hutch. I didn't include Hutch in these because it's apples and oranges, because Hutch, it's all paid meals unless you're on like the Saturday night meal swipe, and then you go Saturday nights and you get like a free meal from Hutch, and it's like restaurant style. You like do Grubhub and you have to like order and pick up, that kind of thing. So I'm not gonna rank it, but I just figured I would kind of talk about it. It's got a really nice ambiance, but it's like a coffin even more so than anything else because there's literally no windows. Food is amazing though. Spectacular food. Favorite meals are at Hutch. It can get pretty busy in there. I don't really like how all of the tables are big tables, but yeah, this is Hutch. Okay, shoot, now I've got to add up all the numbers, so hang on really quickly. I don't know if I agree with the numbers that they added up to. They're all too close together. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what the numbers came out to, and I'm gonna actually tell you what I think the final number should be at. Kathy came in first with 62 points. Woodlawn came in second with 59 points. Baker came in third with 56 points, and Bartlett came in last with 52 points. Why are these so close together? What the heck? I did not mean for this to happen. If I were to actually do it, and to actually just choose 1 through 100 my own numbers, Kathy still comes in first with 80 points. No, 85 points. Bartlett comes in second with 75 points. Baker comes in third with 60 points, and Woodlawn comes in fourth with 55 points. That's like just my personal, ignoring these actual scores. But yeah, this is just kind of my review on the dining hall. Let me know if you agree or disagree. It's definitely a very contentious thing, so probably a lot of people will disagree. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was entertaining, and have a wonderful day.